Welcome to episode 8 of the JGE Talks podcast, hosted by myself, Lee Johnston. And as always, we have a very special guest today, Dan Naudo, club manager of Jumeirah Golf Estates. Dan,
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's one that I've been trying to get you on for a little while now, and summer travel has hindered our progress a little bit, but glad to have you here. And yeah, I'm excited to hear a little bit more about your journey so far, mate. And club manager since the start of the year, is that right?
6th of January was the first day, so
How's
7 months into the role now. Good, It's been starting at the height of the season, when the club is in full flow, really busy operation, as is everywhere in Dubai in January.
Of course.
So it was great to kind of, oversee and watch the operation, to be honest, for the first few months, just kind of watch what was happening, see all the staff in full flow, see the members enjoying the club, and start getting to know some people. So, but everyone from, staff through to the members, through to the wider team at Dubai Golf has been very welcoming. One big family, so it's been lovely. Yeah.
Perfect, good start. So it sounds like kind of thrown into the deep end a little bit, a very busy time, but probably a good way to do it.
Best way to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna touch on the role itself a little bit more detail, but I guess that kind of answers the normal question of what brought you to Dubai, and that was the case, right? You moved to Dubai just before that to take on this role, is that correct?
That's right, yeah. Okay. Moved to Dubai specifically for this job.
Yeah. Nice, okay. But you've got a wealth of experience in the golfing industry, St Andrews, London club, been in Saudi. Tell us a little bit more about your previous roles and experience.
Yeah, so throughout my career, I've really followed the American country club model.
Okay.
It's fascinated me. It's been a big driver behind kind of the career path that I went on, mainly because it didn't just focus on golf. It's multifaceted facilities that cater for the family. And the centre of all them facilities is F&B. I always say it doesn't matter what sport your kids love, whether they're into swimming or basketball and the parents enjoy golf, you all go off, do your different activity, but the central point that you all come back to and share your stories together was F&B, and just love that kind of model behind it. And throughout America, a lot of the general managers and club managers come through hotel backgrounds. Learning service standards and culture, and that's where they're recruited from, and it's kind of a path that I wanted to follow as well. So I started my career really into operations, was at a place called London Golf Club. Spent about 10 years there.
Wow.
And then had the opportunity to go into the hotel side with them on hotels up in St Andrews. So not only working in the home of golf, which is obviously amazing, being a golf fan, but working for a fantastic brand as well, and it kind of ticked the boxes of where I saw the career going. And spent 5.5 years up there. Helped that my wife is Scottish, so took me closer to the wife as well, rather than travelling. So it ticked a few boxes, and then an opportunity come up to do kind of pre-opening and project management work within Saudi. I've visited the Middle East many times over my life and career, and whether that be business or pleasure, and always wanted to move internationally, like I was saying, following the American model. So when that opportunity come up to kind of do the other side of the operation, which you don't often get that opportunity to do, you're kind of in operations, there's not many people that can do pre-openings or project management side. So it was a really good opportunity to do that, to get international experience within the Middle East, and I'm just very fortunate that has led to this role.
And was that something that, did you kind of have a grand master plan that you go down this certain route, and then eventually you will end up in this type of role, or did it kind of just fall nicely into place with a lot of hard work, of course, and
I think the deep down goal was always to move to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, be in the UAE. An amazing place to settle as a family, so that was really the aim. So obviously you don't know when the opportunities are going to come up, and there's not many clubs, especially like this, out there. So as I say, very, very fortunate that opportunity come my way.
And a mix of experiences in London, Scotland, Saudi. Were they
completely different? Were there a lot of similarities between those roles? How did that play out? Do you know, actually, I would say completely different. Yeah, really different. You know, London Golf Club we're a privately owned facility by Saudi family. You know, very much we had multiple restaurants, but very much an out-and-out golf club. So not member-owned, but you're still running it as a commercial business, but heavily member-focused. Then you go into hotels. You're working for a management company within the hotel brand, but you've got private owners, and going into the hotel scene, very different from a standalone golf club. And then moving into kind of project management role within Saudi. So actually all very different. But for me, kind of I suppose the core thing with everything is people. So it's kind of your management and your leadership style. Of how you are around the people and getting the best out of the team. So, and that's a good, if you combine those experiences that in 3 very different, places, that's a great way to learn and to grow your own skill set, I guess, right? And probably helping you thrive in the role that you're in now. Yeah. Nice. So. And you mentioned something before in terms of, obviously when you're in Scotland and having your wife in Scotland as well, and, travel in different parts of the world. How much of a challenge, and a lot of people do this when they move to Dubai, without family, because family aren't in Dubai at the moment, is that correct? Yes, still in Scotland. So has that been a big challenge for you, like personally? Obviously we're focusing on the professional side, but at the same time it's difficult, right, to make that decision and make that move. How have you found it? Yeah, it's like good days and bad days. When you kind of stay at work for long periods of time, it feels like a good day because you're no pressure to be at home and you can stay there. I think we're very used to it, and I'm very fortunate. I've got a really supportive wife back at home who understands the reasons why we're doing it. And the reasons why we're doing it is we felt that for us this would give us a better life and give our kids a better education. So there was we always knew there was going to be a bit of, you could say, hardship to get to that point. But it's gone quite quickly. Where I worked in Saudi, being at the remote location, as well as a professional challenge, it was a personal challenge as well, to be like, can you do this? New environment. It's kind of a new section of the business that I've not done. Being remote location, away from the family, it's both a personal and professional challenge as well, to see if you can do it. But we're nearly there. Getting there. And that experience again of the Saudi then sort of helps and makes it a little bit easier when you come over to Dubai, and the community of JGE and everybody being so welcoming, of course, has probably helped a little bit as well, I guess. It has. Nice. So the role of club manager for JGE, so very important role, there's no doubt about it. I know you're very modest, so you don't want to say too much, but a little bit about the day-to-day, like what does that look like for you? I know you're having a very busy day-to-day, so I do appreciate you taking your time out of your day-to-day, but tell us a little bit more of the day-to-day. The thing I love about the industry is there really isn't a normal, there isn't a normal day-to-day. And that probably suits me down to the ground. I always said I wouldn't be great at a 9 to 5 job, because every day is so varied here. And sometimes there's a lot of different education that you can do behind the scenes. And it really does open your eyes to how much variety you do cover, from jumping into finance meetings with your accountants, and then going into project meetings about air conditioning and MEP, to then going into a tournament prep meeting and then sitting with your chef looking at menus, and the next morning you're back into a marketing meeting. So you cover so many different areas, which is great because it's continual learning. I always say I can't be an expert in any of them areas, but it's lovely to be able to have some knowledge that when you are talking to the expert in that area, your head of department, that you can convey and you can understand their challenges or their problems, and you can emphasize with them about what kind of they're going through, because you have some knowledge about it. So for me, every day is really a learning day, because it does cover such an array, and then you get curveballs thrown in, because the nature of what we do is we're dealing with people. Of course. Whether that be 300 staff or 4,500 members within the community, we're dealing with people. So when you deal with people, there's unpredictable as well. So you don't know what's going to come your way. So it keeps you on your toes. Yes, yeah. But we start the day every day at 10 o'clock. We have a daily operation briefing.
Okay.
So all departments get together and kind of share what is going on in their departments for the rest of the day, so everyone knows, and that really kickstarts the day for each department from there. So we can talk about any potential hurdles, any good things that are coming up, anything we need to kind of watch out for, or get an update from the agronomy team. But it's a good overview of cross communication between everybody.
Yeah, sets everyone up for the day.
Indeed.
And I guess it's a challenge, but an interesting one, because you are managing, you've got the team and people, and you mentioned people at the start, in the industry, and, having the team, but you are also not managing members, but you're dealing with members as well. So you've got a lot of members who, pay to be a member, and then you've got the staff to look after. So it's, how's that type of challenge? Is the members or staff are easier or harder?
Both have good days and bad days.
Great answer.
You get used to the diplomatic answer. No, it's joyful. The job is about making people happy, isn't it? Both staff. The job is to keep the staff as happy as possible. Yeah. If the staff are happy, they make the members happy, and ultimately the members are coming here in their leisure time and spending their money, so they should be happy when they come here. So that's ultimately what we're doing all the time. So listen to kind of all feedback that comes in, but with the goal of just putting a smile on people's faces.
Is that something, I really like that point, Dan, because I agree. I think, when you're running a team or organisation, whatever it is, if you focus on, yes, you've got your customers, and in the case you've got members, but if you focus on your team and your staff, and like you just said, if they're happy, they're naturally then going to give a better experience. They're going to be better at what they're doing. They're going to be happy. They're going to enjoy it, and therefore the experience of the members is going to be great. Because is that something that you specifically focus on, and have always had that, I guess, leadership style as such?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, try to. We never get it right, do we? And that's something that, as I say, we go back to. We learn every day, and it's probably spend a lot of time doing self-reflection. At the end of each and every day about kind of what we could do better and what we go forward. But the team are they're the core of the club, because they're customer facing every single day, not me. And I think even coming into this role is getting to know the team was the priority to start off with. I think now I've got to know that. I've got to know a lot more members and spent more time with the members. But initially it was really understanding the team from kind of top to bottom. Yeah,
definitely. And there's 300?
We're about 309 staff at the moment within the club. So
big number.
Big number,
But it works. And look, I think a lot of people comment on this, and discussed this before, and even on this podcast, when people arrive at the club, you start with the bag drop guys, right? Because that's the first place. If you come in to play golf, and just little things like when they remember your name and they're shouting across the car park hello and waving, and it makes people feel special, right? It's probably quite a basic point to ensure that everyone's doing as staff, but when they're doing it right, they're doing it with a smile, and the experience is, I think it's definitely positively reflected through the club, again, out on the golf course, the people in the shop, throughout, the restaurant. So it's definitely, I would say it's working anyway, Dan, that's good. For sure. So.
Good to hear.
So in terms of the club itself, and, Jumeirah Golf Estates, we talk, and this is the main kind of focus of the podcast, is the community. I firmly believe that this club plays a massive role in the community. I think it's the pivotal centerpiece of the community. I think it's a reason why a lot of people live here. Yes, they've got beautiful homes, in the surrounding area, but it's the fact that they can come up here and they can use that. What's your kind of experience of Jumeirah Golf Estates itself as a community, having been here for 8 months now?
Yeah, I think it's very unique. That's probably the term that I would use, because it's going back to what I said earlier in the career. In America, it's quite common. The country club, sometimes not so much living on it, but you've got a lot of the developments like this. But you don't really have anything, especially coming from the UK and more limited within Europe. So having this community where you have the house on site, and owners have their personal buggy and drive around the estate, and kind of, you really got self-contained living. You've got your supermarkets here, and hair salons here, and restaurants, and outside of golf, gyms and swimming pool and tennis and paddle. It's lovely. So I think the concept's not unique,
Yeah.
but in terms of the offering for around us, there's nothing else really like it. And you see that when you talk to residents, and they're like, "Oh, I've not left JGE in the last 4 weeks." And you're like, "Yeah, there's a world outside."
No, there isn't.
But sometimes you don't need to see it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is funny. We have this conversation all the time, and people that live here, and you think, well, why do we need to leave? You know, you literally have. And again, the club itself has got everything. Yes, there's a supermarket, but the restaurants and the bar and the facilities, the gym and the pool. It's the true centre of JGE, and you know it. Yeah, it's a place that definitely attracts people because it's known as well, I guess, globally because of the golf tournament. You know, that's a big draw. You know, and I know it's a popular place with full membership. I guess right now it's full, isn't it? In terms of
the membership's full. Yeah. Not sure how many properties are kind of left available, but obviously real estate is is doing very, very well, which means the community is busy. So. I think over the last few years, the club has really kind of seen that transition from not just golf numbers, but the amount of people moving into the community as well. Yeah. So we kind of see where our capacity is to deal with the guests.
Yeah. And the role so far, then, has it kind of gone as expected, as you thought it would have done? Has it been harder, easier?
Yeah, kind of as expected. Yeah, you know. Yeah, no, as I thought it was. I think the first time I come to Jumeirah Golf Estates was 2012.
Okay.
So before the clubhouse was done in 2014, when there was a two-story. I hate using the word marquee because it wasn't a marquee. It was a beautiful temporary clubhouse.
That's a good description.
So I've kind of been coming back and forth from Dubai since then. So followed the journey, and I always thought this was the pinnacle of the career, sitting here. So it'll go back. So feel very proud and fortunate to be here. But ever since then, I've followed the path that Jumeirah Golf Estates was on as a development, nice. And known people that worked here throughout their career as well. Yeah. So
it's good. It's good to hear that as like a proud moment and time to be in the role. And I think it's something that obviously shines through as well in the work that you're doing. Before we go into what's next, which is a big tournament that comes up every year in this place, golf has played a role in your life as well, would you say, in terms of personal and professionally? Yeah.
It's kind of why I got into the industry. It was always a cross between, I played golf as a junior growing up.
Pretty good golfer, right?
Ish. I always knew I didn't want to play golf.
Okay.
I never had the patience to stand on the driving range and pound balls, and I love being around people. So standing on a range on my own, and I kind of knew that wasn't the direction I wanted to go into. And then I kind of crossed over and could say fell into hospitality with working in restaurants and bars and kitchens and. So it was kind of, I knew I wanted to do a combination of the two. Yeah. So that's kind of worked. But golf has definitely played a huge part. It's an amazing game. But then from, you could say, a personal and professional aspect, where you always talk about the networking opportunity. And even if we don't use the word networking, the relationships that you build through it and friendships that you make. As a lifetime from people that I still played golf with 15 years ago and 20 years ago and still speak to now. It's great.
And you see that on a daily basis here as well, right? There's people that have been playing golf together for 5-10 years and part of the community, people that join, become a new member and get welcomed, and the relationships that get built on the golf course in the Crafty Fox as well. And it's down to the game of golf, right, as well.
Indeed.
And it's nice to be able to combine that, like you said, not wanting to play or thinking that you would go down that route, and then with the F&B sides, and that's being able to bring it together and use that sort of skill set as well, and bring you to where you are today.
I still, every single good friend I have still thinks I just play golf every day and do no work. So
and actually they're totally wrong. I mean, what was it you said you played the other day? That was the first time in 4 weeks, and the clubs have gone back in the cupboard now.
That's it. Yeah.
So we'll squash those rumours for you now. I think I've only seen you out on the golf course maybe handful of times.
Thank you.
We've not even played golf together, which is crazy. So that suggests that you're not playing enough golf.
We'll change that.
We'll make that happen. Yeah. So the DP World Tour Race to Dubai final coming up in November, so fast approaching.
Yes.
We're middle of August now. How how much work is going into the tournament at this stage, would you say?
A lot. So the first cabins arrive in 3 days' time.
Wow, is it? Okay.
And the build starts on the 25th of August.
Okay.
So, it's a long build. I think the tournament, I attended last year. Obviously, it'd been my first year being in the position for the event, but it's obviously come on leaps and bounds over the years, and traction from spectators and the size of the build. But as you say, it's one of the reasons that put JGE on the map, from hosting it ever since the tournament started in 2009. It's always been the home. So it's a great honour and privilege for the club to have that event for so long. So in a short period of time of the club and community, it's already got so much history because of the tournaments, which is great. And I think coming last year, you see how many people now support it, even from a social thing, and how much it does to attract people into the game of golf. There were so many people that don't play golf and were coming for, you could say, the social environment, or friends were coming up, and you heard comments in the crowd where, I never realised a golf tournament would be like this. And that's kind of what we need to keep attracting people into the game of golf.
And it's your first one, so very exciting. How, and you've not done this, so we're kind of predicting, but how heavily involved are you in that, or not, as the case may be, in that week of the tournament? Is it one where you can sit back and relax and enjoy it, or is it even busier than normal? Yeah,
fortunately, I've done a lot of tournament golf before at previous venues, from London Club to Fairmont St Andrews. So worked with DP World and many times. Normally, once you get to the week, it's actually more, I'm not going to say the word relaxed, but kind of the work's done. Sundays afternoons, the weirdest feeling when it feels a bit flat because it's nearly coming to an end. But a lot of it's in the kind of the preparation leading up to the tournament. I would say it's like you're fortunate with this event because it is 50 players rather than 150 players.
True.
And when you run events in the UK, you're normally worried about weather, daylight, car parks flooding, and so you have different stresses and worries to what you will do here. We're here and we'll be on kind of build schedule and timing of the build schedule, and making sure that's working. And there's a lot of food and beverage requirements as well. So.
And hopefully a chance to try and enjoy some of the tournament yourself. And spend some time.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure that will happen.
It is, again, you touched on it, it is such a good event for the club, for the community. And, I was actually with somebody earlier today that lives on the community, and we have a party, and there's so many people that live here that have a party, a get together in their property overlooking the golf course and a tournament. And it's a regular event. They've done it for 5 years, for 10 years. And it just brings people together, right? It brings the community together. Yes, it gets busier here, but everyone loves it, right? And it obviously brings so many more people, more eyes on the club, on the golf course, on the community itself. So overall, it's a great event to have here in Jumeirah Golf Estates. And I guess, even for us as members, it's a privilege to be part of a place that hosts a tournament like that. Yes, there's challenges because the golf course gets very difficult for us after the tournament, but apart from that, it's
the rough gets a little bit longer and the greens get a little bit quicker.
Definitely. In terms of what's next then, Dan, for JG, for the club, stuff that you can tell us about anyway. I'm sure there's other stuff going on behind the scenes that may or may not happen. What's any kind of exciting things coming up for the club, any changes that are being made and so on that you're able to share?
I really think it's just continual development of the current facilities. As I say, the community and the club has grown over the last, I could say, half a dozen years, to where we see kind of like, capacity numbers and the closing and wait list on the membership. And as we touched upon, the community busy in terms of housing and plots sold and not many available. So we can kind of really assess where we're at in terms of business levels now to understand what we need to do moving forward, like expanding the pool last year as a project, to react to how busy and the demand of the guests. So that's kind of the phase we're in at the minute. But, it's continuing to invest back into the current facilities and enhance the offering that we do have throughout. So just be a phased approach to investment.
Which I guess this place is so good as it is, right? So it's kind of a challenge to almost, where can you go and what can you do? You can only do so much, and it's such a top facility that I guess it'd be easier in a way maybe for you to come in, and if it was in such a worse state and be like, right, we're changing that, we rip that apart, but it's already kind of got so many positives. The golf courses are incredible, and yes, there's improvements to make, but is it more a case of making those small changes, small improvements that will be more noticeable over time, perhaps?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the key one. It's we're not reinventing the wheel with kind of what we do. It's just continuing enhancing it, what we do have. Hospitality is a fast-moving industry, especially in Dubai with the the competition through restaurants. So keeping up with that, as I say, we are slightly different because we have a community. So we have people here, and the convenience factor plays massively into our favour of what's on our doorstep. But you can never rest on your laurels with that, and we need to make sure that we keep up with customer expectations. But definitely more small tweaks to keep improving what we are offering.
And is that something you said there? It's like you say, it's an advantage having the community around it. But I guess to some extent, like so many people rely on this place. Like, is that a challenge in itself? Because we're living here and we want to come up and use the facilities, and you have a certain level of expectation. Have you noticed a particular kind of challenge with that as such?
It shouldn't be. It should be an advantage. Because
opportunity.
And we know you. And if we know you, we know what you like, and we know your preferences, and we can make service feel more personal. And we have to stay professional with that. And that's when it becomes hard, of making sure the staff stay professional without kind of dropping and becoming too relaxed. Because the one time you become too relaxed is when you drop the ball. But then we still want to add the personalisation into the service. And that's sometimes what you can't teach through a SOP. So it's an advantage, but it's actually harder to get to that stage as well. So,
Well, Dan, it's been very good to talk to you. I do appreciate your time. As I say, I know you are very busy. We're not quite finished yet. We're going to go through some quick fire questions, but I think, again, I would say, and I know a lot of the members have very much enjoyed you being, in your role and getting to know you. And the short period of time, 8 months, has gone probably very quick for you. You've definitely become a pivotal part of the club itself. So it's
appreciated. Thank you very much.
Some very good work, and I'm sure it'll carry on. You've got lots of exciting stuff with the tournament, and I know there's a little trip coming up to the UK as well that you're going to be part of, and I'm going to be joining you on that, which is going to be representing JGE in the UK over at Wentworth as well. So we look forward to that, and maybe we can talk about that one next time on the podcast. So
excellent.
Just to finish, a couple of quick fire questions for you here. So, fire course or earth course?
I've got to go earth course, just because travelled to Dubai for many years, and before I even joined here, it was always my go-to.
Yeah. Earth course or Magulus?
Earth course.
Good answer. Obviously, the only answer. Basola or Castori?
Basola for me.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I do love them both, but yeah. Crafty or Botter?
Botter.
Oh, okay. Gym or swim?
Gym.
Okay.
Always.
Seen you working out on that gym a few times. Golf in the morning or golf in the evening?
Golf in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sun going down.
Sun going down. I think the Middle East has some beautiful sunsets.
Yeah.
And always like to kind of finish
the day with a game of golf. Weather's cooling down a little bit, and golf course view. Talking about property now. If you were to have a property with a golf course view or a beach/sea view, what would you go for?
Oh, controversial. Beach and sea view for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to get you overlooking a bunker then in JGE. Somewhere.
Unless it had kind of some water in front. I'd find being by the water just for me very relaxing, and if you hear the sound of water.
Yeah, true.
So maybe if it was by 16 when we've got the aerators and you could hear kind of the sound of the aerators going, that acts as a little bit of a fountain feature. And when you're sitting outside, that would be
so we need a lake view,
compromise.
See a bunker so that you've got some sand, and a nice fountain in there.
That's it.
So you can sleep easy at night.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Dan. Well, look, thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate it. It's been very good talking to you, and obviously all the best for the rest of the year and the rest of the time here at JGE. I'm sure it'll be a long time, and yeah, just let's get out on the golf course.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much.